A London marathon runner was left fighting for her life in a coma after drinking too much water during the race. Johanna Pakenham, 53, unknowingly overloaded her body with more than a dozen bottles of water to cope with the heat and has no recollection of crossing the finish line. Time travelers invited to Stephen Hawking's memorial service. Mum of 4 later collapsed at home, suffered a seizure, and her partner was forced to perform CPR to keep her alive before the ambulance arrived. Taking in too much fluid during the race, Johanna had flushed the sodium out of her system, resulting in the life-threatening condition known as hyponatremia. Johanna is now back home, and wants others to be wary of the effects of drinking too much water while running. Johanna, from Wadwick, Hampshire, said, "I love running and I've been doing it for years. I've taken part in 4 marathons, although this was my first one in 15 years. I remember starting the race, but around halfway through is when things start to get hazy. Brexit has made UK more racist. UN representative says he saw my family at the beginning and apparently, I saw them 3 times throughout, but I have no recollection of that. I remember my dad's voice in my head saying, make sure you stay hydrated, but without the electrolytes, the water was doing more harm and making me worse. There is such a thing as too much water, which I learned." According to the Met Office, it was officially the hottest London marathon on record on April 22, hitting highs of 23.2 C. Johanna endured the scorching temperatures and frequently stopped off at water stands dotted along the route. She estimates she drank a small bottle of water at around 20 water stations, but wasn't replenishing the electrolytes she lost with energy drinks. She said, "I had about 400 meters to go and I remember saying, I'm wobbly, and my family couldn't believe I wasn't going to cross that finish line. Where to buy Union Jack GB flags ahead of the royal wedding. There's a picture of me taken at the starting line and I look fine. Then I had a photo taken at the finish line. I have no recollection of it being taken. I don't recognize that woman in that photo." Johanna completed the race in 6 hours 35 minutes but cannot recall much until she woke up several days later in a hospital bed. She said, "The plan was to go out for pizza, but apparently I said I was feeling sick. I started driving back with my daughter Emma and my partner, Richard, when they noticed how unwell I was in the car." London's murder rate is lower than the USA's 50 largest cities. When we got back they called 111, but by the time we'd gotten through all the questions they were asking, I had a massive seizure, which is a common reaction to hyponatremia. Johanna quickly stopped breathing, so Richard, who owns a farm, began trying to resuscitate her. "My family immediately called 999 and Richard was the one who administered CRP until the ambulance arrived. I think they managed to get me breathing by that point," she said. Johanna was then taken to Winchester Hospital and kept in intensive care, where she fell into a coma for the next couple of days. She added, "I remember nothing from that Sunday right through to Tuesday. Mum and 3 kids forced to flee after 1-pound charger blew up and set home on fire. I think I woke up and spoke a little on Wednesday. To be honest, even the next few days were blurry until Saturday. I pretty much lost about a week altogether." Johanna had suffered from hyponatremia, a condition that occurs when the concentration of sodium in your blood is abnormally low, causing confusion, vomiting, seizures and comas. Sodium is an electrolyte, and it helps regulate the amount of water that's in and around your cells, causing them to swell. Johanna has since seen heart specialists and had follow-up tests, but there's nothing to suggest she is permanently affected by the incident. "From what we can tell, it was just a one-off. The doctor says I'm perfectly fine to go running again," Johanna said. "I guess I just want people make sure they're taking in the right electrolytes as well as water, so this doesn't happen to anyone else."